Hi, welcome back to Patricia Stuart of Patricia Stuart Originals. I did a stencil for my circular gel plate, and so I'm going to try it out. I'm going to start with some yellow ochre by Golden, just my favorite paints to use. And I'm just going to pull a print, and I'm going to use some black paper that I have. This black paper is, I believe it's Archer's. Okay, so just going to pull that up, and I had already pulled some crumpled paper off, so it picked up what was previously there. Okay, so now I will lay the stencil that I made down, and I will use some red violet, and this is Golden's matte flat acrylic. So I'm just going to pour some out on a worksheet and roll it off from the worksheet. Need to put some more. Okay. Now the Golden flat, it's matte. It doesn't give off a shine or anything like that, but I like them. I like Golden fluid paints in whatever form they come because of the very high pigment and color that you get. Okay, so there is the design. Let's see if I can hopefully I've gotten that back at least as centered as possible. Maybe, maybe not. And there you have it. That's a nice color that we have here. And so I also made another one, different design for the circular plate. So I will try this one. I will lay down, we have here, Pyrrole Orange. Let me try to get some of this plum purple that I had off. Okay. This is a nice bright orange. And so I will just pull sometimes I like to just work with two color prints. Sometimes I like to layer it a lot. But if my stencil has a lot of a particular design going on, I can ruin it if it is layered beyond two. Okay, so here we have the pyro orange. So I'm going to lay this stencil. And I will roll off I'm going to go with some quinacridone magenta. It's almost similar to the red violet. And I'll brayer some of that off in a separate sheet. Okay. This is a good way for me to see how this homemade stencil does. Trying to lay this down and get it. Whoops, gotta take this up first. So I like that design just by itself. Just eyeballed it. In some cases, less is more. Oh, I like that. It's a nice color. You can see it. Okay, so trying out those two stencils that I did. Not bad. I like the designs just with the two colors. And I can use these as backgrounds for, I can put a subject matter in the center, anything. But I like those. Okay, I also did two stencils for a 5x7. And let's see. I did this one for the 5x7. And I want to see how that comes out. And this was the second one. I had to kind of look around for it for the 5x7. So I'll start with some iridescent gold. And I want to put a print of something on it before I pull it. This was some screen netting that I had purchased to fix a hole in the screen. Never used it, but it's being used now in my gel prints. And it's very faint. Oh, you see those dots there. So using a piece of black, I'm going to pull that. I hope it was enough paint to pull it. Okay, I could have used a little bit more paint, so I think I will do that again using, because this gold is a little, it's not opaque, so it might be a little sheerer. And I guess when I use the netting on it, it took up some, so let's try that again. I'm always up to throw caution to the wind and try something, because actually that's how you learn. There we go. You could see a little bit of the texture. And so now I will use some iridescent copper. Kind of roll that off the paper. Place the stencil on. I make my stencils mainly out of cardstock. I can't remember what the weight was on this, but cardstock works well. Okay, I'm not sure how that's going to show up. If it doesn't show up well, then I'm going to have to use a different color, maybe one that's a little darker. I like both of those colors when I just looked at them. Okay, so it did come up. You can see it. So what I'll do is pull this again. And I'm going to use a little darker color. Now this is really throwing caution to the wind. Here's Viridian Green. I have no idea. And this is also a little transparent. I don't want it too heavy. I can just add and see if we can just pull some of the print from this lightly on top. I want to be able to see the other colors, hopefully. Okay, yeah, it worked. So you're able to see the green, and it brought out the copper and the gold. Now I definitely have a nice ghost print here. And I'm just going to pull that just using a piece of computer paper. I could use it for something else. No, it's too dry. Okay, so we'll move on to the second print on this 5x7, and I'll pull some quinacridone nickel gold. It's also pretty translucent. Now this ghost print, when I pull this, will definitely come up. Okay. Okay, there we have it. It's really nice the way that came up. It created a design of its own, pulling up the colors off the plate. So now I'm going to use some teal. I'll spread that out and roll it over the stencil. we'll use this one. That shouldn't have happened. And now, I don't see if probably won't see too much of that quinacridone. This is kind of going over that print design that came up when I pulled up the ghost print, which was looking pretty nice. We'll see what happens now. I can go back over with the quinacridone on top of this again if I need to, which I probably will, because the teal took over. So in a case like that, I will use the turn this upside down and roll out some quinacridone. Or actually, put the quinacridone down and do what I did with the other print, where you're just pulling up some of the color. Okay. See if we can. There we go, that worked better than I thought that it would. Okay, so we did get the color to come up. It's pretty nice. So there you have it, just the 4 stencils I made today. And just ideas of just pulling with 2 stencil pulls as opposed to constant layering. Thanks for stopping by.